This is paradise.
I will never let you down again.
Vincymas 2025 just got better with the official bear of the season and proudly Vincentian. Hi Room Bear, hold your own. Hi guys, I'm Chantal and this is Carnival Hub on VC3 TV.
VCG, baddest thing.
And Hyrule.
Take a deep breath. Breathe. Can you feel it? The air in your lungs. The essence and spirit of life in the air. This is paradise.
In other words, I not doing don't tell me about work I out on the road today. Me and some pretty beaches I out on the boat today. I don't care what time of day it is, I drinking rum today. I having fun today. Yeah! Holiday. Today is a holiday. I don't care what.
These days, we can all agree that our healthcare is more important than ever. And to complement our healthcare system, welcome to the Medical Emergency Center, also called the MEC. Let me tell you all about us. Conveniently located at number 4, 6th Avenue, Belleville. We are a
Pleasant
private
afternoon
hospital.
to all present, to the members of the head table, the CEO, Mr. Rodney Small, Chairman, Mr. Ricardo Adams, and ACP Benjamin, representative of the police, and the board of the Carnival Development Corporation. To the artists, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CDC press conference. We started Vincymas 2025 on a high with a press conference at Sandals Resort, where we promise you through the leadership of our new CEO, Mr. Rodney Small, that him and the team will be delivering an excellent Vincymas for 2025. We have started on a high following the press conference in terms of execution of events with an excellent launch. We all remember the start, and then following that we had our second activity for 2025, Bacchanal Bay, which was held last night at the E.T. Joshua Tarmac, which again patrons express appreciation for the return of Ragga Soca and Soca Monarch semi-finals in the format that we did. As a result of that activity, we are here to announce the results, and that's why we have so many artists in the house, as we will say. And apart from that, we'll bring some updates on other Vincymas related activities. So at this point, I'll introduce to you the chairman of the CDC, Mr. Ricardo Adams, to bring his updates.
Thank you, Ezzy. Members of the board, CEO, members, sponsors, members of the Calypso Soca fraternity, members of the media, and to all those following us on social media and whatever other platforms by which you would be hearing my voice. Good afternoon. Let me just start by saying I want to recognize the efforts of the Carnival Development Corporation office this year in really starting out Vincymas on an exciting footing. Let me echo the sentiments of Ezzy. From the very start that we had at the tarmac, to the second start that we had in New York City, and the events that have happened so far, including last evening, where I must say that the soca artists, and when I say soca, I'm going to encompass Ragga soca and power soca artists, put on a fantastic show. From all reports, we had a few issues that even the ants were dancing, but other than that, it was a wonderful show. The rain actually held and allowed us to finish a show that had 44 competitors, as well as a guest artist, and we were able to finish that show by 10 p.m. So kudos to the organizing team for that. Kudos to the artists who put on a fantastic performance. So I'd just like to say that the components to date have been really stepping up to the plate. The rural carnivals, we seem to have had a really good rural carnival season. I see athletes, well, I see two of our rural soca monarchs for 2025 in the house. And really, it says that we're beginning, somebody said 3? Oh, okay, I didn't get it back there. Right, so 3 of our rural soca monarchs in the house. And it really says that the rurals are beginning to understand their role as the breeding ground for the big stage. And the more that we can have the participation of the cultural components in the rural festivals, it means when you get to the big stage, you've already got your feet wet. And we're hoping to be able to extend that to pageantry. We're hoping to be able to extend that to where the rurals have good steel bands coming out of the community that would be doing other things in the community during the course of the year, so that by the time we get to Panorama, it's not the first time that you're going on a big stage. So kudos to the rurals, the Calypso tents. I think the prelims were of a high standard. We tried to do things a little differently as we promised. I know the upstage Calypso tent was able to take their show across the Dry River and down to Wafaloosan Bar down in Cumberland. So we're really trying to take the culture and not keep it as a Kingstown thing, but make sure that the Vincy culture is spread across the country. So that's the first thing I'd like to say. Congrats to the components, congrats to the rurals. I'd really like to recognize some of our sponsors who have committed to returning this year. I see Michaela in front there smiling, and they had a wonderful launch where she was bubbly and smiley as usual and announcing her support for all things Vincymas. So we have some traditional sponsors who have remained with us for many years. I think we might be able to talk about some of the new exciting sponsors and sponsorship opportunities that are happening. I know we're finalizing with entities like Acado, the St. Vincent Breweries, etc., who have been with us for a while. There are some new folks who are coming on board, and so it really lends itself to an exciting Vincymas. I don't know how many people inside here have tried to book a room for any time over the next few weeks, or a rental car, or a day pass, or a nail or hair appointment. It's just sold out. And I can't say that I know why, but to me, what I'm seeing and feeling on the ground, people have come home earlier this year than has traditionally happened. I think we had a welcome ceremony at the airport 2 Wednesdays ago, and people were asking me, so when is it happening again? When is it happening again? So I had to explain to them that was the pilot for us to make sure that we figure out all the little kinks with it. And so when we go forward with it, as I'm sure we will be from what date next week? from Wednesday this week. Sorry, I forget today is Monday. From Wednesday this week, when we go forward with it, we would have ironed out any little kinks that we would have had, but definitely we want to again put on that welcome spectacle to people coming home. We've had some meetings with our key stakeholders, and our key stakeholders include the people from the town board, the people from the police services, the security services, the people from health, etc. VINLEC, all of CWSA, all of the people, public health. And as usual, everybody comes to the table because at the end of it, Vincymas is about all of us and all of us working together. So we don't want to be in a situation where CDC is trying to do something and the players that be who need to facilitate that are not aware of what we're looking at doing. So I don't know how many of you drove through Kingstown yesterday, Sunday morning, and saw that some of the potholes were being patched, so you're not going to sprain your ankle by stepping into any hole or try to drag your big costume with a little wheel this size up the road and get stuck. We're going to get a briefing from the police this afternoon. I saw some of the temporary bathroom facilities being erected, etc. So we're getting there, and we're almost there. And by the end of this evening, hopefully, CEO will be able to tell you that we're there and ready to go. People are already on the ground. The rental cars are up and down the road. The hotels are filled. The restaurants are doing very well. So it really says that, barring any unforeseen circumstances, that we are in for a bumper Carnival season. I just like to stress that when we go out and we sell Vincymas to the people across the globe, we say to them that Vincymas is a high energy, intimate, and safe festival. And so far, in all of the events, all of the rural carnivals, we've lived up to that. We've kept it very safe. We've kept it very high energy. We've produced quality music. I don't know whether it was actually formally announced, but I think for Soca and Ragga Soca, in terms of entries this year, we had 197 people submitting entries. So I know I certainly didn't want to be a judge sitting down and listening to 197 and trying to pick 44 out of that and then having to condense that even further, because the quality this year has been really good, particularly in my opinion in the Ragga Soca segment. The quality has been really, really up there. I'm not saying that the Soca isn't there, but I'm just saying the Ragga has stood out to me this year. So again, we stress Vincymas is about us showcasing our culture to the world, and we can showcase our culture with all the energy in the world, all the passion in the world, but with a respect for ourselves on the international stage. So I always say, let's do it in a clean way. We can play dirty mass in a clean way, right? And let's continue to respect ourselves. Let's continue to do it safely. And I want to invite everybody who's here, who's on their way here, who's on their way into the country, from wherever you're coming from across the globe, make the Vincymas cultural shows part of your Vincymas experience, because we sustain the culture.
It is the one that has the biggest attraction. It is the one that makes money for the CDC. And hence the CDC has responded in a like manner. Some of you are here, if not all of you, because I don't know. I tell you, I don't know who are the finalists. So don't look at me to give me eye to see who the finalists is, to whisper. I don't know. That privilege will be given to the EDC or the chairman. But if I can go from last night, Saturday the 5th promises to be a big event, a return to what we are accustomed to. And that's what the name, Big Bad Soca Monarch. And you all are smart. You all know that language is fluid. Language is dynamic. And you know we are this slang bad. We don't mean bad in the sense of negativity, but bad in a way that you embrace something that is vibey, something that is exciting. So when you hear big, bad Soca monarch, don't misconstrue and say, all Kaba Bennett, Ricky Adams, Rodney Small say come be a bad and Soca monarch. We don't party normal, but we party within limits. Yeah. So look out for that. Sunday, it is Dimanche Gras. Its name is literally translated in French to mean Big Sunday. The Calypso aspect, in line with what the semi-finals is named Crown and Legends, the Royal Spectacle. That's when 11 Calypsonians who will be chosen on Sunday will come up against the reigning Calypso monarch, Mozart. And we need to also plug and give people the highlight, make them very visible. What I'm going to say here, Mozart has a unique distinction of being the only Calypsonian Simpson Grenadines to have won every title possible. And the 4 titles that are possible are Ragga Soca, Soca, Calypso Monarch, and Road March. He has won all 4. He's amongst you also. So come out in your numbers. There's a meeting at Victoria Park. Come out in your underwear. Come out with anything. Because remember, the next day is Jubilee. I don't want to bore you anymore. I'm going to stay and say, thank you for having me. Vincymas, the hottest carnival in the Caribbean. I am proud to be a part of Vincymas. I am certain that all of you as stakeholders are also proud. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, this will be remiss of me. I need to clout myself. Another clout. Yes, you can clout me and you can clout me as well. It made news already that so I'm going to say it again. The St. Vincent and Grenadines Calypsonian Association saw it fit to recommend Robert Patrice King, that's his actual name. He's more familiarly known as Robert Patrice Knights, but his government name is Robert Patrice King. We submit his name as a nominee to be honored for 2025. The CDC has graciously consented to honor Robert Patrice Knight on Dimanche night, a man who started singing Calypso when he was 12 years old, and have contributed in many different ways. Not only the Calypsonians, those who go to tent, you'll see him playing the keyboards. He writes a number of songs for persons. Well, I've also been given the opportunity, the signal honor, to indicate that Roddy Dovers, whose name was submitted by the European movement, have been also accepted as an honoree. So, with that, that's a good place to end. When you honor people, it demonstrates that your heart is in the right place. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll just have the chairman of the CDC say a few more words.
Yes. In as much as Kaba raised the issue of the honorees, I'd just like to announce that also this year, the Carnival Development Corporation would also be recognizing Butex International, and these 3 I'm going to announce are from the mass bands category. And Butex International is celebrating 30 years in the mass business this year. Blondie Bird and Friends is also celebrating 30 years in the mass business this year and will also be recognized. And last but certainly not least, Melbourne Artisans is celebrating their Grand Jubilee, 50 years in the mass business this year. So they will also all be recognized as part of the 2020. So, over to.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for that additional update. At this point, I know you guys are waiting, the artists who are here and those who are viewing online and so on, to get the results from last night. So we're going to get to that pretty quickly. You know, we started our Vincymas this year with a new CEO, Mr. Rodney Small, and started with guns blazing. And within a short time, it appears though he has been CEO for the entire year. But you just have to remind you, it's only approximately 2 months since he took over. But with the cooperation of the staff and from the board level and everything, we are on the trajectory to deliver Vincymas that we have never seen before, and so far we have delivered like that. So at this point, I'll introduce you our new CEO, Mr. Rodney Small. We'll bring you up the updates and give you the results from last night's competition.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Esworth Roberts, Chairman of the CDC, Mr. Ricardo Adams, Board of Directors, artists, media, sponsors, good afternoon. I thought that this job was getting easier, but it's getting harder from now because they all left me in the hot seat with all these updates, you know what I mean? I find myself keep watching on this side, and you probably would wonder why. Because these are the, I think, why most of us are here and why most of us are looking. Is the results from last evening. I too want to take the opportunity to say a major thank you to the public for the support last night. You know what I mean? Starting an event at 2 p.m. was something that persons thought that was rather impossible, and even utilizing that venue. But I could say it felt good. I mean, minus the little ants bites that we got. I said to somebody, if you ain't get bite, it wasn't there. Right? So we all can share that moment together. I mean, it was truly an amazing evening, not just for us at CDC, but looking at the fact that we're celebrating our music. And not just that, but looking at the different generations of our music, because we also have a living legend in our midst, which is Mr. Wheezy Wiseman, and having him on stage with some of these young people. Was surely a good feeling. I mean, it was a great feeling. And I mean, we have to thank God because the weather held up for us nicely. And directly after, we got the showers of blessings. So I put that on pause, although we are waiting it because we have some very important updates. And the last time I was here, we had some wonderful announcements, and I know persons are waiting for some more, right? Outside of the finalists. But just to go back into some of our calendar events, which was mentioned earlier, this Friday is our Kickstart Party. We call it the Kickstart Party of the official days, 10 days of Vincymas. And we are excited about it. Mr. Bennett Kaba spoke about the change. And I mean, I want to big up Mr. Anthony Denny and the shows and marketing committee, where they sat down and they repackaged the shows, they rebrand the shows, and just bringing some new energy all together. Now, we won't get everything done this year. As he indicated, I'm only about approximately 2.5 months into this position, and I could tell you for sure we have a good plan, a long-term plan to really align Vincymas with a lot of the entertainment practices now internationally. So Friday, it's Rum and Rhythm. A lot of persons have been asking what this is about, and I know for the exports in marketing, I'm not an expert. This is sometimes curiosity could be a good thing, and it could also be a bad thing, right? So I'm going to help with clarifying some of the concerns. Rum and Rhythm is really the official start for the 10 days, and we felt like we wanted to make it a Friday night vibe. Not discounting anything from Fantastic Friday, which was Calypso, but we really wanted it to be a Friday night vibe, a rave party, a free-up party, not too structured. Come as you are, come from where you're coming from, and just come into Carnival City and let's have fun. You're going to have the DJs, you're going to have your artists, of course. There's going to be a big pre-show, and I remember in not the previous press conference, but our official press conference, where I mentioned that every single thing that we do, you're going to have an element of our traditional culture where Vincymas is concerned. So our pre-show, you're going to be seeing some of those things. I don't know, for those who are too young, when I say traditional, I'm talking about boom drum, I'm talking about pan long neck, I'm talking about monkey band, I'm talking about juve, I'm talking about baba, I'm talking about fire eaters. So we're going to have a pre-show that will give you a whole identity of what Vincymas and our culture is all about. And I'm hoping that our young people can appreciate that. I mean, we, from the shows committee, dub Rum and Rhythm as our young people thing, eh? So I know Kaba and Ricky, I don't know how you would fit in there, but you are welcome also. You know what I mean? But Rum and Rhythm, outside of that, no, he's a young boy. Outside of that, we try to create a lot of marriages where CDC events are concerned. So the entertainment is there, and we want to marry this particular show with rum. And I know in some cases, when you hear the word rum, some people will push up their face and have a particular energy towards the word rum. Like, it's only bad people or delinquents alone drink rum and all these things. But the concept is really to celebrate a lot of our rum. And I mean, I know over the years we have received a lot of awards for our rum. We have Captain Bligh, we have Sparrow, and of course we have the very best. We have all kind of name for that, but I would stick to strong rum, right? People have different names for it, and we just want to celebrate it at this event. So you're gonna have a lot of mixologists. You're gonna have different bars that have different names that are unique to us. You're going to see rum shops, because that is also a part of our culture, but obviously in a uniform manner that it's going to look good. So Nicola, you could go over to the rum shop and take a little thing, you know what I mean? So we're going to celebrate our rum, not just our local rums, but our regional rums. I mean, and there's a lot of history behind a lot of these rums. You're going to come and see that. I mentioned the mixologists, I mentioned the different cocktails, and of course we're going to have some shots. So we have to celebrate the opening of Vincymas, so you make sure you have your shot glass when we're ready to do that. And of course, the full spectacle of the fireworks and the lighting designs, the address from the minister and the chairman, and let's just start Carnival. And this event is only $30. I mean, our merchandise are going to be on sale, and everywhere we turn now, we have a Vincymas jersey, somebody wants one. So on Friday, you're going to have some merchandise for sale. So that's basically what Rum and Rhythm is. Artists, DJs, but the big feature is our rum, and in different forms and different features, not just going by the bar and ask for rum. A mixologist, you take a shot, and these rum shops are going to be named after some of our slangs. So, well, I am also young, but I was not aware of some of these slangs. So you will have a rum shop that is called Lash Up, right? We know that's a vintage thing. We know when you say Lash Up, what that mean. So Lash Up would have different features. Then we're going to have one called Tari. We know what that means when they say a Tari. And then we're going to have one which might create a little bit of a controversy, Mr. Chair, so forgive me. Quick Head, right? I mean, and you know, once you go to the Quick Head bar, you're meeting things like strong rum and things, so you're getting a Quick Head, right? Just to put that out there. So that is on Friday, the 27th of June, starting at 9 p.m., and I'm inviting everybody to be there. Kiddies Carnival, which we call Junior Carnival, is now Kiddies Fun Fiesta, Junior Carnival, and I'm encouraging everybody to come out and support the kids. The mass bands has been working extremely hard, and if you have not registered, I'm asking you to go out now and register your kids and be a part of it. That experience, and we are turning the Victoria Park into an entire Coney Island. For those of you who are too young, you would not know what Coney Island is. We had a Coney Island here many years ago, and then here at the CDC, we want to give you back that experience, but also with the mass experience and the mass production, we think that is going to be a tremendous event starting at 10 a.m. And of course, the mass productions would start about 1 p.m. And then we continue with the Coney Island. And then the kids would go back up the road, get a little jump up, and come back down in the Coney Island. So persons can look forward to that. And even with the legends, I really don't want to touch more on it because the president did a fairly good job. But it was really, this event is about the feel and the atmosphere. And we think that the clientele deserve that. And that was also one of the reasons why we moved from the Friday to the Sunday evening. So Nicola could bring her mom, enjoy the sunset at the cruise ship boat. And then we go into the cocktail hour, would be featuring Bam and the one-man band. I mean, Bam is also a living legend. So he's going to be taking us through that cocktail hour, and the cocktail is not free. The cocktail means you would go and you pay for your food. We have a live pasta station. Live pasta station, like a sushi, like a exotic food, but of course our local cuisine is going to be there. And of course, Beckett is going to be there as a living legend. Beckett is also celebrating 50 years, so there's a lot of 50s happening at the event. Beckett 50, the semi is 50, the ticket is 50. I mean, the early bird is 30. So grab the early birds now, right? And then some other living legends are going to be there, some surprise acts, and then the 11 Calypsonians is going to be there, and it's going to be a tremendous evening. Sorry? Oh, and no, well, oh God, I didn't know. Yes, and Mr. Turud, Mr. Turud will be there on the runway. You know what I mean? Junior Calypso, I mean, the only thing I want to add to what Kaba said is that that event is now going to start at 4 p.m. instead of 2 p.m. And the reason for that is that if I'm a parent and I'm at work, I cannot go on work to come and see my child perform. So we decided to put it at 4 p.m. so you can leave work and come and support the children. So that is one thing. Junior Pan and Steel and Glitter, one entire day for Pan and Mass, starting Junior Pan at 2 p.m. and then we go straight into Senior Pan from 8 p.m. So it's a full day for Pan and Mass. And as we say, Pan and Mass must play. I mean, the soca artists, them don't vex, but Pan and Mass must play, right? Evo, A Night in the Clouds. I would also save that one for a later date coming soon. I mean, keep the anticipation building, but Evo is really going to be a spectacle. I see Nikita smiling. I mean, as a major sponsor, you would like what is going to happen there. But by Wednesday, we're going to do the big reveal of Evo, A Night in the Clouds. Big Bad, Ragga, and Soca Monarch. July 5th. Yeah. Leave that for last. Okay. So permit me the house. The Mardi Gras, the president spoke about it. It's going to be a royal spectacle. That is the concept, and it's going to be a royal spectacle in terms of the visuals. And if you know me very well, I mean, I could probably toot my own horn here. When it comes to set design, it's going to be a royal spectacle. And then Juve, I gave you the times before. The traditional Juve will be between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., allowing the Juve bands to do their thing in terms of the traditional, the pan going around town, the bum drum going around town, the monkey band, but it is not limited to that time. So the 6 does not cut off for Juve. The Placage Juve, the Juve fanatics, they're going to continue doing their thing. But one of the big announcements, and this is something that is very dear to my heart, never mind my age, is that the CDC would be in collaboration with the guys from North Leeward to bring a full official monkey band on Juve morning. Yeah? So for those of you who like to go to Grenada and enjoy Jab Jab, you could enjoy monkey band in St. Vincent. In fact, monkey band was existing before Jab Jab in Grenada. So Chainsaw and the crew in North Leeward, we're going to be collaborating with them, and I'm hoping that we all can patronize this and be a part of the culture and be a part of the experience. And of course, Mardi Gras would be free in Victoria Park, where we see the craftsmanship of our mask builders and our masqueraders. And I know this is a day the photographers like to be out on the streets. And I mean, we're exploring the option of putting seating for the elderly and persons who don't want to stand too long in and around Kingston while you enjoy the masqueraders display themselves. So should I leave that for the last of my presentation, or should I go back to it? I will go back to it. Soca Monarch, Big Bad Soca Monarch, exactly what it says. And that's how we feel about it, and that's the energy that we're going to put into it. And I can guarantee you, the Soca Monarch that I am aware of and that I know, we're going to get back to that place by the hook or by the crook. And the gate price for Soca Monarch right now is $40. And the last time I checked on our online ticketing platform, the old people used to say them things selling like hot bread. Soca Monarch is selling. And I don't want you to wait, because this piece of information that I'm going to say right now is that Soca Monarch is going to be historic. Right? It is going to be historic. And I will take it from a few angles. One, when we look at the age group of our participants and you look at the region, we have some of the youngest and baddest artists in any Soca Monarch in the world. And we must appreciate that, because it means that there's continuity, there's a long-term life for the Soca Monarch here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I mean, I've been hearing a lot of chatter about what the reigning Soca Monarch is going to do and what is possible and who is it possible with. I have no confirmation, but what I would say, I feel it's going to be a historic Soca Monarch for 2025. Whatever the reigning Soca Monarch decides to do, he's going to create history if he becomes the winner once more, because that would be 4 straight wins for Mr. Delroy Fireman Hooper. So as I said, for us at the CDC, we are saying that it is going to be a historic event come July 5th. I think I've said enough where Soca Monarch is concerned. Correct? Always? Call names? Yeah, don't worry yourself. The name's coming just now. All right, quickly. Our ticketing, we have done some upgrades on our ticketing. As you know, we are now online. So you can go online on www.vincymas.fun and go and purchase all your tickets for all our event. So you could go out and check that out. We have a new ticketing company out of St. Lucia. So you know, things are different. We have some new security features. So just to let persons know that it's not really easy to try and duplicate these tickets and what's not. The decoration of Kingston would commence from tomorrow at 5 p.m. And I'm making this announcement because I remember earlier when we put out a teaser and asked who would want to help, a lot of persons indicated that they would want to help. So if you're still interested in helping with the decorating of Kingston, we're going to mobilize here in Victoria Park from 5 p.m. and then we're going to start a dispatch in different groups in terms of the different concept. So persons who are still interested, you can join us here at the Victoria Park tomorrow. The AIA activation will continue from this Wednesday, Sunday, and the following Wednesday and the following Sunday. All right, so persons who are coming home in the diaspora who are listening to me, just make sure you have on a little flat thing. So when you jump off the plane, it's time to party. So we could look forward to that. We want to announce our food and craft village. And we're collaborating with Art in Action, the Fashion Association, and CDC. We're going to give you a food village in the courthouse yard area. So you can go there and get different food at any time of the day, any time of the night. And also, as I said, the craft, you could go and buy craft, souvenir. There are going to be fashion designers there. So if you want to go and buy something from Payne or P.T. O'Dini or even anybody, Vincymas merchandise. So the food village, we will activate that from next Tuesday, which is the 1st of July, all the way through to the end of Carnival. So even during your lunch hour, you can go there and get some food with some entertainment. Even in the night after you go to a private event and you don't want to eat Yankee, you could go into the food village and get some nice cuisine because a lot of food would be available. Our T-shirts, you could look out for our Vincymas T-shirts that would be on sale. Ezzy would be the one in charge of those, but a lot of persons have been asking for Vincymas merchandise, and you're going to get them very, very soon. As soon as you come to Rum and Rhythm and you walk through the door, you can start purchasing those things. The new times, Carnival Monday would go up to midnight, Carnival Tuesday 10 p.m., and of course our bars are going to go around the clock. And then we have made an extension with few added days up to July 13, which means private promoters or CDC, you can have events during that period, right? So we don't have to try and jam everything into one particular space. I don't know if it's too late, but if our promoters are thinking, there's some additional days where you can do some stuff. An appeal to the promoters, we are really asking you to get all of your permits and all of your approvals because the police are calling. We've got quite a number of different phone calls saying, did you approve this? Did you get this? Make sure you check in with the electrical unit, to make sure that your electricity and your venue is safe and secure for your patrons, and we should be good to go. I want to big up our confirmed sponsors thus far. NLA, Mr. Denny is here, Nikela and her family, and I like to use the word family because that's what it is, especially working in these organizational entities. The Tourism Authority, Acado, Hyrule Brewery, NPL, which is National Properties, Agricultural Input Warehouse, Vinlec, and Sanders SVG. Those are our confirmed sponsors, and we are still awaiting some of those who want to go and top it up. Right, Nikela? Top it up. So we are waiting those other confirmations. Just quickly, Miss SVG training has started. I know a lot of persons have been asking about Miss SVG, and even coming through some of the training session, it's a lot of excitement. So I want to big up the Miss SVG committee for starting that process, and I could tell you that too will also be a royal spectacle thing. Before I get into the niceness, right? Not saying that it's not niceness that I'm saying. I just want to make an appeal to the crews. I spent approximately 2 hours last week meeting with about 11 crews. And I know the artists will love when the crews are in the building. But I want to make an appeal to them that Carnival is a happy place. And if you're coming to a Vincymas event, leave everything else that is not contributing to the happy place at home, right? We want a violence-free carnival, and we want our patrons to feel safe. Yes, some of us love the bacon, some of us like the energy, because obviously it's a reflection of we do party normal. But let's keep it clean and let's protect each other. I'm really making that appeal to all the crews and the leaders. You give me your commitment that you're going to do so. So I want you to keep it for us here in St. Vincent and Grenadines, and let's enjoy what you're doing while we all can enjoy what we're doing. All right? All right? All right, so I don't know if I should do this. A drum roll. Auntie Jean, are you ready? All right. So what we have done, we've seen a lot of entries, and it has been very intense. Prelims, very intense. Semis. And from the prelims, the CDC and the board of directors, we made some additions to the number of semi-finalists who went forward. So we added 2 in Ragga, and we added 2 in Soca, because we want to continue to provide that avenue for our artists. Not that we did it to choke in somebody, however. We just saw it fit that we needed to add more. And for the finals, we did the same thing. So before, it was 9-1 for Ragga, and then for Power, it was 10-1. This year, we're doing 10-1, and when I say 1, I mean the reigning monarch, and 12-1 for the Power. We're just giving more artists an opportunity, and we just wanted to continue what happened from the prelims. Now, I'm not saying to hold the CDC to this next year to say, well, you did this and you did that, right? But it's really to say that it was so good, it was so intense, and we want to provide an avenue for more persons, right? So it's 10-1 for Ragga and a reserve, right? So that is 12 artists, and then 12-1 for Power and a reserve, which is 14 artists. So in all, 12 and 14 is how much? 26 artists would be going to the finals. All right? No, sir. Now, this is not in any special order. So when I call the names, it doesn't mean that if I said Anthony Denny first, mean he was the winner of the semis. I'm just calling them randomly as I was given them. So for Ragga Soca Monarch finalists, Utamo Bongo Prime Rose with Mardi Gras Trouble.
Will be performing on an evening with legends. So that is another crown added. Wow. How many crowns that is now? 20? Wow. It's 16 for the Calypsonians, plus Beckett and Fosa, and him. 20 crowns. So you see where it is? They are legends? They are royal people too. They're all kings and queens. So consider yourselves queens and kings. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. All you soca artists, you all are queen and kings, and I want to leave this with you. You are winners, irrespective of the results. It is how the society is, where we make determination. And then we have an evaluative tool, just in school. Okay, I can just probably swag right here, the CPA. CPA came out on the weekend. Some children are going to schools that they want to, some won't be going to schools that they want. But they are, in their own rights, little princesses and princes, because they actually were in school studying and doing their work. And you saw it fit to put the... And if you didn't put the afternoon craft, CDC wouldn't have you as a golden product. So big up yourself. Big up yourself. You hear me?
Thank you. President of the Calypsonians Association. We mentioned Calypso, we mentioned Pan, we mentioned Mass, we mentioned a lot of things. We mentioned Juve. With my background, being a t-shirt band promoter for 10 years, prior to being on the CDC, I just want to mention the t-shirt bands that we have confirmation from. That will be on the road for Carnival on Monday. We have a band called Rebellion. It's not a rebellious band, that's just the name given to it. Rebellion. We have Vincymas presenting Bubblegum. We have the Purple Army. We also going to be having the Green Machine. Musty Green Machine will be on the road, and they're rolling out their packages have been moving pretty fast, I was told. And we have Guinness, of course, they're coming on the road on Carnival Monday. So all these bands will be on the road. These are your options for Carnival Monday. And they're, yes, and Hot 97, of course, they are in their sauce band. Hot 97 sauce band will be on the road. Looking rather saucy, I must say. I actually like the print and the design and so forth, and the front lines and things. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah, so there you have it, Carnival Monday. These are the options that you have to choose from. And we want to encourage persons to play Juve in a band, of course. We see you mentioned the monkey band. We really would like to see a lot of persons coming out participating in that. We're also looking forward to having persons playing in these Monday bands, not just to come into town and live and look at the bands, but to participate in the bands. It's important for the participation numbers to be increased. We also want to encourage persons to play mass. I listened to an interview on the radio this morning on NBC Radio, where two representatives of the Carnival Bands Incorporated, they were doing an interview and they were making the plea that the band registration for some bands are still quite slow. So I want to encourage the persons out there to come out and go and register to play mass. The Kiddies Carnival this Saturday, go and register the children and so forth, make a pick and get the children involved in Carnival at that level, and we'll go with them. So at this point, I would like to...
Question.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Just want to congratulate the team on a great start to Carnival 2025, and that show last night with the exception of the ants. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
But quick question: the food court or the courtyard, would it be round the clock?
So you just took this mic.
The food court opening hours will be determined by the vendors, right? Because we're just facilitating it in terms of putting in the structure and the designs and what's not, and we're we've put out the call already. So, for example, they're going to come together from Art in Action and the Fashion Association with the food vendors who would apply to the CDC, because everybody would not be able to sell in the Victoria Park. And then we're going to have a collective meeting to say, well, the food court would open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or some might say from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. next morning. So we're going to have that meeting, and of course we're going to promote it and market it. But it's driven by the vendors, right, giving them the opportunity to come and sell and make some money. And in addition to that, is that courtyard is going to be a whole cultural amphitheater. And even if on Monday you're tired, you can go inside there and rest for a bit and then come back again. So that is really the idea of that village.
Yes, if we have no other questions, I'd like to thank all the media personnel who are here, who attended the press conference. I'd like to thank the artists who are here and those who are not here for the quality of work, the producers as well, and the composers all have to be thanked. I think this year we have very high standard of music, Ragga, Soca, the Calypsos as well. Calypso competition will be a keen one as well. So I would like to thank all those composers and all the artists who have produced stuff, all the mass men for their role in presenting the type of costume that I know will be there to come. I'm a person who visits mass tents, and so I have a pretty good idea of what the bands will be presenting. And it's up to you, the individuals who want to play mass, to go out and register. I'd like to congratulate all the persons who will be organizing Juve bands, Country Meet Tongue, and the others. And for every person who will be attending any carnival-related activity, thank you for your support in advance. Thank you on behalf of the CDC.